Yes, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I get so super excited. I am Paramount USA, and you are at Lindy's Treehouse tonight. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Jump on the treehouse. Jump into the treehouse. Climb up the ladder. Let's all hang out tonight because it is Thankful Thursday, and I am thankful for all of you. And I'm going to say a shout out. Hi, Bill H. Welcome, welcome. You're always the first one in the chat. I so appreciate you so much. I'm pretty excited about tonight. We're just going to get kind of caught up on some things and talk about some events things have been going on this week. You know, stuff I watch on TV or whatnot. A few news things and this and that. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to talk about tonight. We always, you know how I always want to make everybody feel good when they come into my show and they climb up the ladder, come up the tree house. We're all about just talking about stuff and making everybody feel welcome. So welcome, everybody. I'm Paramount USA, your host, and you are at Lindy's Treehouse, which you can find me on YouTube. I'm here every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And yeah, come on up. I'm gonna hang out for a little bit. I'm gonna wait for people to get in the chat. Welcome chatters, and welcome all my viewers and listeners and lurkers and all that good stuff. We always have really good time on Thursdays. On Thursday nights. I love my Thursdays. And yeah, Tony, hey, Tony Marzano's in the house. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Tony said, I just want to drop by and say, hey, but it's draft night football. I know. I'm gonna miss that. I love watching that. It's pretty exciting. I like to see these guys, you know, all succeed and you know, just from college football to going to the NFL is pretty huge deal. So, and I love football too, so I really look forward to it. I don't know if I'll be able to get it on my internet because all I have is internet streaming, unless I can watch it for free maybe on my Amazon. So I'll have to look. I'll have to check that out. But everybody, welcome. Yeah, it's make sure y'all say a shout out to Will Fly. It's his birthday today. So happy birthday, Will Fly. Welcome. Come on in, jump in the chat, say hello. I'm glad that you're all here tonight. We have just a bunch of stuff we're going to talk about, get the show going. You know, I always have all my notes and everything. Got to have my notes because I work hard all day on the show to get ready for my show and to get you guys all stoked up and everything. And yeah, everybody put a birthday cake in the chat for Will Fly, because I'm sure he'll be jumping in pretty soon. Like I said, I'm just kind of hanging out. Wait, excuse me, drinking my ginger ale and I burping here. I hope you're all having a good week so far. My week's been very blessed. I finally got to walk to the bayfront yesterday. We had beautiful weather, little bit chilly, a little windy, but it was super nice. Hi, John Wayne. Welcome, John Wayne. Come on up, take a seat, relax, because it's Thursday night. It's Thankful Thursday, and I'm Paramount USA, and this is Lindy's Treehouse. And we just talk about all kinds of things about life, and I just want everybody to feel welcome, and because just like they say, you want to go where everybody knows your name. Well, that's what I like about doing the show. And I've been doing my show since June of last summer. I started on Thursday nights, and I love it. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm enjoying every one of you that come out every Thursday and hang out in the treehouse with me. I appreciate it. And I think Lindy's Treehouse really fits because, you know, I live upstairs apartment, so I could call this my treehouse. I can look out my window and the trees are right there outside my window. And I'm just amazed that the trees, Mother Nature's pretty awesome. Yeah, we went through that ice storm and the trees just look devastated. But when I look outside at the trees outside my window, I can see little buds on the branches. And I think we're still gonna get leaves on those trees. You know, God takes care of that stuff. He really does. And I think that's really a blessing with Mother Nature. The trees don't worry about if they're gonna bloom or not, or they're gonna get those leaves every year, because they just do. And that's how I go through life. I don't worry about these little things. You know, I'm just thankful for every day. And I don't worry about what I'm going to eat and what I'm going to drink and this and that, because I know God has me and God has the nature outside, right? All the trees. I'm amazed that, that I can tell the trees they're all going to come back. Mother Nature takes care of it. The green's going to come back for the animals. Hi, Scooby-Doo. Welcome, welcome. Come on up. Lindy's Treehouse. We're just going to hang out tonight. We're just going to talk about different stuff, because I make my notes all day. I really do. I brainstorm, like, what else can I do for, do on my show? But it's okay. It's work, but it's well worth it. And it keeps my brain busy at this point in my life. Got to keep my brain going, right? Just like when I walk. Yeah, Scuba. I have that. I saw that on Scuba said a plane crashed at Langley Air Force Base about 2 miles from the house. Yeah, Scuba. I saw it on Facebook, and I was going to say Rachel Hayden. They put it on. It's on Facebook, and it's really sad. He was young. He was very young. Yeah, he was an aerobatic pilot. I thought of you, Scuba, when I saw that, because I was like, that's the base right by where you live, right? So, I have if you guys want to read it, the article is, it's on Facebook. I mean, I screenshot it, but just out of the privacy, respect of the families and everything, I'll let you guys, I'll let you read it. So, I know my show's a little delayed. It just popped up on my feed that it's on my phone now. My show's on my phone. That's really weird, but that's YouTube. It does what it wants. But even my YouTube was acting really glitchy yesterday, so I kind of had to. I think all I did is reboot everything like I do. And then it was okay. But I was like, why is this buffering and doing all this crazy stuff? So, YouTube will do that. Yeah, my hearts and my prayers go out to the family. You guys can find it on Facebook. It's pretty sad. Rachel and her husband put it on there. Posted on Facebook. Scuba says air shows this weekend. Oh wow. I was at work. If I was at home, I'm sure I would have heard it. Oh, no doubt, Scuba. Yeah, that's really sad. It's very sad. Like I said, you can find it. It'll be all over Facebook, but I'm not going to read the details and everything, just because of the name of the person that crashed, just out of respect for the families, the family and all that. So, you never want to hear that. You just don't, So we're going to kind of I'm just going to kind of talk about some of the things that have been happening this week. Just, in the news, no politics or anything like that, of course, but it's always fun kind of start the show with, reading about different happenings. So, today's the last Thursday of April. Of course, you all know that. I can't. I've got my big calendar. I keep my big calendar out, and I gotta. Thank God I have that I can write everything, keep track of everything, write everything down, and I'm so glad I did, because I told you when we had the ice storm, my internet went out. I called my internet company or whatever, and I told them how many days that my internet was out, and they tried to screw me on that. And I said, no, it's this and this day. And they ended up giving me a credit of $15 and something. So I just got my bill today, and yeah, I get a $15 credit. So I'll take it, right? That's $15 I can put in my savings, extra in my savings and all that. So every little bit helps. So just give me the heads up. Yeah, with all the ice storms and everything, people are still trying to recover from it up here, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody at all. Another thing, let's see, Pope Francis passed away. R.I.P. Pope Francis, rest in peace. He was like 88 years old or something. But they're gonna. It's so crazy how they do things. They're gonna just have them out there for viewing, like for a week or something. And I'm thinking, when I pass on or whatever, please just cremate me. Don't leave me out there for a week and people come by and look at me. I want you to remember me as how like this, right? I don't want to be morbid, but I want you to remember me like how I am, not laid out. I just there's no way, there's no way. I'd rather have you walk to the table and look at all my pretty pictures. I know I'm weird. I know. But you guys love me. That's why you're here every Thursday night. So yeah, come on up. Jump in the chat. Say hello, everybody. Say hello to your friends. And this is a place to hang out on Thursday nights at Lindy's Treehouse. And don't forget, hit subscribe and hit that like button too. Okay? Hit the bell, notification bell, so you know when I'm going to be on it every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? Okay. So, yeah, and then they had some, the fires, talking about the fire, airplanes catching fires these days. It's absolutely crazy. Hey, Will. Hey, everybody, say happy birthday, Will. Happy birthday, Will. Everybody put a birthday cake in the chat for Will. Happy birthday, dude. Scuba said I stopped halfway on remote start. Okay. What is it? I'm not sure what that means, but it's okay. Didn't want to miss the show. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Thank you, Scooby-Doo. I really appreciate you and Munchkin. I do. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all of you for stopping by every Thursday night. And I appreciate all my viewers too, because I always watch and see who watched the show and all that. And please, yeah, just say yeah, there you go. Scuba says, LOL, Will knows Linda. Yep. There you go. There you go. You guys all know me. You know how I roll, rock and roll on my show. I just do me, it's just me. Yes, everybody got to put a birthday cake in there and even ice cream cone. Throw an ice cream cone in there in the comment too, right? Yeah, I'm sure Will Fly would appreciate that. Throw an ice, put it like that, right? Because we know Will loves ice cream. He loves Dairy Queen. So yeah, so we had those. They're talking about. I made some notes there, okay, because I read all this crazy stuff. But the fire on the airplanes, every other day it seems like. And it says that, okay, these are facts, okay, that I read. So I'm just the messenger here, but I thought it was really funny. It's as far, reported more than 18,000. Oh, FAA reported more than 18,000 wildlife strikes in the United States in the past year. So it's on April 13th. However, 4 were reported to involve rabbits. The vast majority were bird strikes. So I've never heard of flying rabbits before, but okay, you know. So they're saying the last plane that caught on fire, one of the planes that caught on fire was from a rabbit. So I'm thinking maybe the rabbit was in the engine part or something before the plane even went up, you know. And as soon as I started that engine, you know, that was it, right? So everybody got to have cooked rabbit before they got on their flight, right? But yeah, the bird strikes. So I don't know. I've never been on an airplane where a bird, yes, enjoy, Will. Will says, you guys spoil me. Well, of course we do. We love you, Will. You know, we all hang out on Thursday nights, and we got to make a big deal. It's your birthday, man. It's your birthday. And Brooke, it's Brooke's birthday too. Brooke Sheffield, I have to say it right. It's his birthday today too, so Will Fly and Brooke share a birthday. So happy birthday, Will Fly and Brooke. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, as far as like the animals or whatever, yeah, they said the vast majority were bird strikes. So I don't know. I think birds have every right to be up in the air, but you know, I figure the birds are up there first before the airplanes, right? So anyway, and then what about in New Jersey, the fires in New Jersey? That's terrible, terrible, terrible. I feel so bad for those people. And then to find out a 19-year-old kid started the fires burning pallets. Okay, what is going on with this world? They're wackadoodles. The world is going wackadoodle. Okay, so that is the word of the night, wackadoodle. So if I ask you later, I don't know if I'm going to give any koozies away tonight. I think I'll do it like every other week. You know, I get more people in the chat and all that stuff. I'll give more. And Munchkin, I told Will that his koozie is on the way, and so is Munchkin's. They went out yesterday. I put them in the mail yesterday. So, you know me, I'm what do you call it? Woman of her word. That's what it is. Because I don't want to say man of my word because I'm not a man. But Munchkin is at work still. Okay. Yeah, Scuba, you should be getting the koozie in a couple days. So enjoy. Enjoy. Okay. You're welcome. I do it for you guys. I love it. I even bought, today from Amazon, I got those bubble mailers. I've got a bunch now, so I don't have to worry about running out of bubble mailers. And I'm just going to I'll probably order some more, some more of these cool koozies. So if any viewers, you guys are watching, you know, I usually have little contests, and then somebody will go home with one of these koozies. So you get a choice. You can have the flag one, or you can have this this one here. So yes, tie-dye. Yeah, you can have your choice. Or I still have some stickers left. Or get a choice of these beautiful stickers. But the only way that you can win is you have to be in the chat. Yes. What's up, Greg Laney? Welcome. Come on up. Welcome, welcome. Scuba says, Will and Greg, in case you haven't heard, a plane crash at Langley. Yeah, it's very sad. Very sad. It's on Facebook, so you guys can find it. It's there's been a lot of planes and stuff. A lot of planes went down this year. Just scary stuff, right? I'm glad that Munchkin and Scooby made it safe, you know, and they did their flight, got on the airplane and everything to Nashville. I'm glad that you guys made it back. I used to love to fly. I really did. But nowadays, I don't know, man. It's scary. Like, what are the odds? Greg Laney says, a scoop. I just finished working a few minutes ago. He said, I'll look at that. Sad to hear. And the air shows this weekend. He would have been part of the show. Wow. Prayers to the families. Prayers to the families. You guys can find it on Facebook. Somebody shared it. But like I said, I'm not going to read it all because just out of respect of family and stuff. So we talked about like the airplanes, right? And then bird strikes on the airplanes, you know, with airplanes catching fire and all that. It's really funny that one airplane that caught fire this week, nobody talks about it. Nobody says anything on the news or anything like that. It's really weird, you know, how the media is just not, oh, well, yeah. And watching people they have the plane, you know, the side of the plane open with the, what do you call that? The slide. And people are, you know, jumping out of the airplane, sliding down that chute. What do you call that? What's a slide? I call it a slide. The airplane slide or whatever. And people are like, you know, flying down that slide. Yeah, I would definitely, if I was to jump down and go down that slide, I would definitely need help getting up as I get to the bottom of that slide, because I would be, you know, and I'd be scared. Like, people panic, right? So you're going down that slide. I would be afraid that somebody would crash into the back of me as I'm going down the slide. I'm just saying, like, remember when you were kids and you were at the playground and you go down those slides, and there was like 6 people behind you. Emergency exit. Thank you, Bill H. Thank you, Bill H. As I'm losing my voice. See, that's why I need a co-host to do the extra talking for me. You know what I'm saying? Will Fly said, I always thought that would be kind of fun to do. All right, Phil. Will, let's take an airplane flight together, and we'll ask the pilot, hey, can you do an emergency landing so we can go down the slide? We'll go down together, okay? Yeah, as people are sliding down and running across the airport, hit the closest shuttle or whatever. Talk about pure panic, right? I don't know. Like I said, once I'd hit the bottom of that, somebody better be there to catch me, because I'd be sitting on my butt looking at everybody, you know, okay, you know, anybody come pick me up. It's okay. And so on another note, besides airplanes, right? The FDA says that the Food and Drug Administration, that they're phasing out 8 artificial food dyes from the U.S. food supply, and also out of medications by the end of 2026. So I'm looking at this, right? So they're going to get rid of all this food coloring. Now think of this. All the Kool-Aid that we drank when we were growing up, right? And going to the little candy, the gumball machines, right? What do you think was on the gumball machines, right? And you take the gumball out and you're like, and then your tongue gets all blue or red or whatever from the colors. The same thing with that fruity gum, that green, that's apple gum and cherry gum, whatever my boys had when they were growing up. Same thing, right? But look at, we're all still here. The Jellos, how's that going to work in Jello? When you're eating Jello, that have food coloring in it. What about all those cupcakes we ate growing up? And, it's like, oh, I need food coloring. I'm going to make some pink cupcakes. I'm going to make some red cupcakes, right? I mean, think about it, everybody. And we're all still, we're all still here, right? We all survived the food coloring thingy, whatever. So, yeah, I know. I look up weird things. I just thought that was fun to talk about. I'm not, I'm not saying thank God, because they're trying to protect the children and all this. A little bit late because us baby boomers here, we grew up with that stuff. And think of Kool-Aid, the sugar that was in the Kool-Aid too, right? How many cups of sugar did my mom put in the Kool-Aid and mix it in that big, pitcher or whatever? Lots of sugar. So you had the sugar and the food coloring. It's no wonder half the kids grew up, end up being diabetic because of all the sugar drinks, parents thought nothing of bringing home cases of Pepsi, we drink soda all day long and stuff. John Wade said, Bill H., did you see that the new Scout prop is now in production? Oh, okay. That's cool. I kind of like that name too, Scout prop. There's so many new ones, so many new props coming out, and I'd be curious what they look like. I really would, what they're made of, and if they're more sturdier than some of the other props and all that stuff. They're always coming out with new, bigger and better things, right? So, what else? We've had some crazy. What else was going on this week, everybody? You guys can tell me if there's any other news that I just know that the food coloring thing was pretty crazy. And then, the New Jersey fires from that 19-year-old kid. That's terrible. Bill H. says, I did see the announcement, but didn't watch the video. I have to say welcome to all my chatters, listeners, viewers. Come on up. Jump in Lindy's Treehouse. I'm Paramount USA. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification and all that. I'm happy that you're all here. I really appreciate you very much. And I know a lot of you, if you don't watch, you watch it later. Please hit that like button after you watch it. Please, please, please. I also want to give a shout out to all my subscribers. You guys are doing awesome. I'm not going to say how many subscribers I have right now because I don't want to jinx it. But I'm just super stoked about doing the show every Thursday, and I still get the jitters when I do the show, start to do the show. And Shane, I hope you're feeling better, Shane. I know he was under the weather on Tuesday, and I hope you're feeling better. That's no fun, when you got a cold, catch a cold or whatever. It's no fun. Not feeling good. So, another note. Let's see. Oh yeah, I always start out the show with reading something out of my fancy-wancy book here. Get you guys going, right? So I'll read that, and then we'll get into, I don't know, some crazy fun facts. I do my fun facts every week too. Let's get into that. I'll say hi to Angela if Angela's listening. Angela. I know you guys are watching the football. I don't know if I can watch it. Watching the football. Guys, help me out here. The football draft. I love watching that, but I have a feeling it's on ESPN or something, and I can't get it. So unless it's on maybe my Amazon Prime, maybe I can watch it for free like that, like I did last year when I watched the preseason games. So I don't know, but I love football as much as you guys do, and of course my rodeos during the week too. Friday and Saturday and Sunday are rodeo days or whatever. So Munchkin says, boring. Who wants to watch the damn draft? I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to watch it this year, but it's just kind of fun. I don't know. Just fun to watch it. Greg Laney, Giants on the clock. All right. Greg Laney's giving the scoop on the football. That's right. Yeah, I still won't be able to watch the games this year unless I go to my son's house on Sundays. It's all right though. I survived last year. I'll survive again. As long as I can watch my rodeos, I don't care, right? I don't care. Hi, Munchkin. Love you, girl. I got your, I sent out your koozie yesterday, so you should be getting in the mail. So everybody who's listening and watching and all that stuff who aren't in the chat, you will have a chance to win these one of these koozies. But I'm not going to give any koozies away tonight. I'm going to do that next week. But yeah, so viewers and listeners, come on up on Thursday nights and you have a chance to win a koozie or a sticker or a nice sticker. But you have to be in the chat. You have to be present in the chat to win. So, okay, that's all right, Munchkin. It's more important that you drive safely. That's all right. Don't worry about that. Scuba Show and Munchkin, I love watching them on Friday nights. We always have a good time. But so I'm going to read this. I'm going to read something out of my fancy wancy book to you guys, because you know it's Lindy's Treehouse, and we talk about everything. So let me know. I'll wait for Scotty French Fry. He should be in the chat shortly, and maybe my son Robert. I sent him a link to jump in the chat and say hi. I know Thursday nights is his family night too. So but anyway, this is what it says: accept only the best, appreciate great achievements, consider the skills, energy, and dedication they demand. Imagine the satisfaction. Reset some of your own goals, lift your sights and your benchmarks. Avoid mediocrity, strive for greatness. We all like to do that, right? Strive for greatness. Your own resolution to success is more important than any other one thing. So that's cool. Your own resolution to success is more important than any other one thing. So that's pretty cool. I like that though. Strive for success and avoid mediocrity. So strive for greatness, right? We all strive for greatness. I mean, I do my show every Thursday, and I try to change it up and get more creative with it every week. Because, yeah, if it was so easy, everybody would be doing podcasts, right? But we still have Monday and Wednesdays open. We're still waiting, you know. Who knows, you know, who's going to come back on those spots. I don't know. Bill H says, I can't remember the code word of the night. So I'm driving. Oh, I didn't really put any word up there. I don't think I'm going to do any code words tonight. I could though, but I want to get more people in the chat, so there's more of a, you know, when I give something away or whatever, get more people in here. But yeah, I do have there is a code word. Yes, I'm already thinking of it right now. Will fly. Whack-a-poodle. That's not the code word. It's not the code word. Whack-a-doodle. Yep, whack-a-doodles. Cray-crays. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to do give any, like I said, any of these beautiful koozies away this week. I might do it next week. Kind of break it up, right? But I'll tell, you know, like I said, my viewers and all that, if you want to win a koozie, you have to be in the chat. So, and Munchkin says, happy birthday, Willard. Yes. Happy birthday, Will. Everybody put a birthday cake in the chat. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So let's go with some fun facts, okay? I wrote down a whole bunch of notes today. So let's go with, okay. So I looked up something today because I was born in 1955. So let's see, Greg Laney's saying, I travel for a wedding next week. Then it's time to turn my attention to bad apples. That's right. Y'all are going to be in bad apples. And yeah, May's coming up so fast. Tell me about it, right? Oh my gosh. But I like to look up things like, okay, what was happening today in 1955, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you a trivia here. Let's see. Okay, this is what, oh wait, I'm going to read sorry, I'm all over the place as normal. The biggest news in 1955 was, and I bet y'all didn't know this, the first McDonald's restaurant opened in Des Plaines, Illinois, while Disneyland debuted in Anaheim, California, and Mickey Mouse Club started on TV in 1955 too. Yeah, and they said the popular song in 1955 was David Crockett song. Isn't that funny? Yeah, we were like, wow, 1955, man, that was a huge year. Scuba says, laugh my ass off for real. Munchkin says, and the ice cream machine was already broken. Yeah. Seriously, McDonald's is known for broken ice machines. Yeah. McDonald's is. Because my daughter-in-law, she was craving a ice cream sundae. So we went through McDonald's and the ice cream sundae machine, whatever, was broke. I'm like, go figure, right? Jeez Louise. Yeah, so I didn't know the biggest, biggest new 1955, the first McDonald's was built or whatever, and then followed while Disneyland, and then Disneyland did that. Disneyland opened in 1955. So, yeah, I'm that old. Good God. All right, here's a trivia. Where does German chocolate cake come from? Because I know you guys like talk food. Greg Laney says, Munchkin, no matter what else anyone says, that would be the joke truth of the night. Munchkin says, Will's just trying to make you jealous, Scuba. We love our ice cream. I love ice cream, but you guys already know. I can't eat it anymore. Can't eat ice cream. There's a whole lot of stuff you can't eat anymore. When you get older, stuff you'd be able to tolerate, right? Just can't. Just can't. And that goes for all different things in life, right? Things you used to tolerate, you're like, ugh. John Wayne says, no. Where does German chocolate cake come from? No, you'll be surprised at the answer, everybody. You can Google it, but it's actually Dallas, Texas. I don't know. I said, where does German chocolate cake come from? They said Dallas, Texas. Scuba says Molly has assumed the position. Yes, Scuba. She's not hanging out with me yet. Wait till like 9:30. She'll be over here. She's that's because she had her dinner early, so she's all tired. She played on and off all day today. She was funny. They are such funny creatures. They really are. But I tell you what, when I take my hearing aids out at night, she's my ears. I can be 10 o'clock and I'd be sitting in bed and on my phone, and all of a sudden her ears perk up, and and she knows. And it got to be where when I was when the power went out and I was sitting in the cold in the house, my son and his wife would come by to check on me, and I told you I was too stubborn, I didn't want to leave, and they would come by and check on me and everything. And Molly actually got to know the sound of his truck, of my son's truck. As soon as she'd hear that truck pull in the parking lot, she would perk up. I'm like, oh my gosh. So they got really keen sense of hearing. Thank God, right? I just thought just dogs did, but they really, because my doggies, they were my watchdogs, That's when I was sleeping at night, sleeping at night or whatever, when I take my hearing aids out. But yeah, she lets me know, and she lets me know when she wants to eat at 4 a.m. I don't know about your kitties, but yeah, she likes to wake me up at 4 a.m. it depends, what she tries to get me up to eat breakfast. And I'm like, I'm not getting up at 4 o'clock to feed you. Are you crazy? All right. So we know German chocolate cake comes from Dallas. And, okay. So which country drinks the most coffee? Ooh, this is interesting. Munchkin says our cats growl, let anybody outside. Yeah, isn't that funny? Yeah, they know. She can hear somebody pull up like right outside my window here, in the little alley. She can hear, she'll perk up and run to the window, and she lets me know if somebody's out there, or she'll hear the door open downstairs, somebody coming up the stairs. And thank God the stairs to my apartment are carpeting, and they have those handrails. That helps a lot. Have to have both the handrails. And another thing, okay, so I'm just going to say this with handrails, the handrails when you're going up the steps. Now, I've been to people's houses, okay, that they have a handrail on one side, right? Okay, and it goes all the way to the length of John Wayne says Turkey. It's actually Finland. Finland has which country drinks the most coffee? It says Finland. So, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's crazy. But yeah, anyway, on the steps, you know how I talk about things. I'm from one thing to the other. Here we go. I'm like a squirrel, okay, because you know how my shows are. And some people might not appreciate it, and some, they're like, okay. But anyway, I went to a house one time, and they had they're like, yeah, I want to show you around my house. And so I see the stairs, and I'm like, oh no, not the stairs. Well, they have a nice long railing, to hold on to go up the stairs, stair railing. The other side, it only went halfway up. So if you don't know that that railing only goes halfway up, because you're trying to concentrate on going up or down those steps without falling on your face, and all of a sudden you're halfway up there and there's no railing. Yeah. Talk about like, holy shit. Yeah, I said it. Holy shit. CHIT. CHIT, not SHIT. But I don't know if that's ever happened to y'all, but even at the thrift store, all the dresses, a lot of the stuff is upstairs at the thrift store. And my daughter-in-law knows I will not go up those steps. They are so steep, number one. And the railings are really like, yeah, they're asking for a lawsuit, because you get up the railing and you're on one side, you're okay. And then on the other side, if you're not aware that railing just kind of disappears, like when you're halfway up the steps, that can throw you off, throw your balance off. So I'm just saying, just thought I'd share that story with you with steps and stair rails, and share your story if you've ever experienced that, Same thing as you get older, stepping down those escalators. That gets pretty tricky, stepping on the escalator, especially at the airports and stuff. Like Sky Harbor has, and Detroit Metro, I think, has escalators. So you're pulling your luggage behind you, and you're trying to carefully pull it, jump on to the escalator at the same time by pulling your luggage, right? And that can be a little tricky too, because you want to look cool. You don't want to fall on your face on the escalator either. So the fun things of traveling, yeah. Okay, so we're going to go on the next one, because we talked about the stairs and stair railings. And just wait when you guys get my age. As my mom used to say, wait till you're my age. And now I'm there, pretty much. But my mom's 98 already. I told you, my mom is 98. And she's no bigger than me. And that woman can do circles around me. Yeah, I don't care. I go, when I sit down with my mama, we have a conversation, you listen, you don't argue. Even at this age, you don't argue with her. You just don't. Let's see. So viewers and listeners and all that, come on in, jump in the chat. I'm Paramount USA. This is Lindy's Treehouse, and I'm here every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. So, yes, with all my craziness, with all my squirrelness, I'm all here. I'm here for everybody. And we're celebrating Will Fly's birthday. And I'm super, super happy for him. My birthday is on Mother's Day this year, so I'm pretty excited about that, I guess. Turning the big 70. Yeah. So look at me. 70 is just it's just a number. Depends how you take care of yourself. I walked 4.2 miles yesterday. I walked around the bayfront. Got my good walk in. So Tony says, Munchkin, I can multitask, just saying. Good thing Scuba don't do football. Yeah, you're a multitasker. Yep. Scuba says, nope. Okay, so, all right. So we'll go on the next one. What was the first hotel built in Las Vegas? Does anybody know? What was the first hotel built in Las Vegas? Does anybody know? Put it in the chat. I want to see you guys guess it. You got to help me out here. I wrote it down. I mean, I have the answer, but you guys, Munchkin says, thank God. I never liked football for the longest time. And then my second ex or whatever, we went out to dinner. It was football Sunday and sitting in the booth and the TV's right in your face pretty much. And I just started watching it and that's it. The rest is history. I've liked it ever since. John says Motel 8. Nope, that's not it. See if you guys can guess. Tony, you probably know this one. What was the first hotel built in Las Vegas? Do you know? It's a little history here. I thought of you and Angela. Will Flies the Sands. Nope. And this is crazy because the first hotel was built in 1906 in Vegas. Greg Lane says, I think I stayed there, but can't remember the name. Yeah, it wasn't the Sands. All right, I'll tell you what it is, unless anybody else wants to guess. What was the first hotel built in Las Vegas in 1906? It was located on Fremont Street. Okay, it was located on Fremont Street. I don't know what the name is now, but the name of it was Golden Gate Hotel and Casino. Does that ring a bell for anybody? Golden Gate Hotel and Casino. It was built in 1906. I bet a lot of those casinos in Las Vegas, especially in the Old Town and Fremont, I bet there's a lot of historical. I remember staying at my ex. I remember staying at Binion's. I remember Binion's. Yeah, Binion's is still there, right? Right, Tony? I remember, like I told you guys a story. They stayed at a hotel. It was big white building, whatever, and it was in downtown Vegas, the Old Town, Las Vegas, big white building. And we were going to stay there at the time, and I believe it was haunted. So we walked in, floors were all creaking. You know, it smelled like old, musty smell, of old house. And walked in the hotel room, and it was pretty nasty. So we turned around and walked right out, got our money back. We're like, we're not staying here. I mean, we went on the elevator, and the elevator was like creaking, it was crazy. So I'm sure there's a lot of haunted hotels in Las Vegas, the old ones. It's amazing, though, how many of them are getting torn down now to build new ones. Tony says Golden Gate. Yeah. Yep. You're right, Tony. It was the Golden Gate. It was built in 1906. Greg Lane says, I was going to guess the Golden Corral, but that's where to find the endless chocolate fountain. There you go. That's where Will Fly could go, to Golden Corral, and he'd get all the ice cream he wants. Like all, for hours, right? You can just keep going up to that table for hours, that ice cream machine, and get as much ice cream as he wants. That's funny. Ice cream cones, right? Endless. He could do every flavor and just keep going back. Yep. Tony was on Chicken Ranch. Oh my goodness. Boy. Yeah. What was it called there? There was another Chicken Ranch. There was something else. There was another place that everybody guys would talk about or whatever. Can't remember. Tony Marzano said, told you. Yep. So we did that. Okay. And we did the coffee. Let's see what else. We did the food, the FDA thing. I still got more stuff here because I've been writing notes all day. All right, we're going to go over to the next page here. Because see, I told you, I got like 5 pages here. Let's see. Let's do the fun facts here, okay? Is this true or false? You cannot smell while you sleep. Yeah, I remember the gold nugget. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the gold nugget. Isn't there a golden nugget in Laughlin too? Laughlin, Nevada? Laughlin's fun. That's like a small Vegas. A mini Vegas, right? Las Vegas. I always like Laughlin. Right off the Colorado River. Back in the day, it was so pretty. I don't know what it looks like now, but everything's so run down. In Laughlin, the hotels and everything, if they keep everything up. Let's see here. Where did I see? I got lost here when I was. Oh yeah, about you cannot smell while you sleep. Is that true? You guys believe that you cannot smell while you sleep? I don't know. I think I can smell. I think so. They're saying you cannot smell while you sleep, but I think you can, because last summer, okay, in my bedroom I get the AC, my window AC going, and at the time the people that were living downstairs were all like, smoking their wacky tobacco downstairs, and that smell come up through my AC unit, my window unit, and that would wake me up out of a dead sleep. Holy moly. And my cat be jumping around crazy, and I'm like, what is going on? Greg Lane said that's what's the purpose of the Dutch oven. Tony says Vegas has some good history, bad and good. Yep, that's true. Scuba says I can call BS, then smelling salt and would work, and Will's farts wouldn't wake people up. Oh my gosh. That loud, huh? Scuba will fly. He has loud farts. Is that what you're trying to say? Well, they all sound louder when you're sleeping, when you're in bed, because you're underneath the covers, so it's gonna ricochet under there. I mean, that's just Mother Nature, What are you gonna do? That's what's nice about being by myself. Yeah, the Bunny Ranch. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, the Bunny Ranch. Yes, I remember people talking about that. The Bunny Ranch. You guys all wanted to live at the Bunny Ranch, I'm sure. We are talking about smell here. Yeah, we're not talking about bunny ranches. Talking about smell. Yeah, like I said, that smell, the weed smell would come right through my AC unit, and that would wake me up out of a dead sleep. Definitely. It's happened especially in the summer, happened a couple times. People will be hanging out in the parking lot, right? Because the parking lot's right outside my window. And so my bedroom window. So yeah, I mean, I got great neighbors, so I can't say. If you smell while you sleep, you don't remember it. Oh, I sure remembered when I woke up out of dead sleep of that, the weed smell. That woke me up. But sometimes though, sometimes you're sleeping so sound that maybe that smell, you smell it and think it's something in your dream, right? Thinking you're dreaming it. So a lot of times I could think that I was dreaming it, but then I'd wake up and I'm like, no, this is not a dream. Because it just like hits you right in the face, that weed smell, the weed smell. And I know what that smells like, okay? Wasn't born yesterday. So, okay. So on to the next one, because we talked about you cannot smell while you sleep, but I think you can. Yeah. It's weird. I try to remember my dreams, and a lot of times I wake up anymore. I can't remember what I was dreaming about. You get up in the morning, wake up in the morning. I'm like, what was I dreaming about? I don't know. When I was younger, I could remember a lot of my dreams, but a lot of my dreams I can't remember. I think I don't know. I probably had a lot more when I lived with mom and dad. As far as like dreams, you guys saw, get those weird dreams. And then sometimes you have the dreams where you like, was it real, or did this really happen, or did I dream this? Tony Marzano says contact buzz. Yeah, exactly. Contact buzz. That's what it is. Yes. Yeah. But a lot of times, even the dreams, I can't. Like I said, when I was living with mom and dad, there was a lot of anxiety there, when I first moved to Michigan and everything. And, my dad being, I love you, Dad, I miss you, being 97, we would kind of, we'd have our discussions, the saying goes. And sometimes when I go to sleep, and I would always think, I would have dreams of my dad yelling at me, those little anxiety dreams. So there's some things that kind of stick with you. But I don't have those dreams anymore. I know my daddy's watching me from heaven, and he's my angel. Guarantee that. So, okay, so we're gonna go on to the next one. Oh yeah, and then Greg Laney, I'm sorry about your daddy. Sending prayers out to you and your family. I know it's not easy. Yeah, I miss my daddy. My mom's still at the house. She's still there. My sis lives close by, so she keeps an eye, keeps watch on her and everything. So yeah, she takes good care of her. Okay, so let's see. What is Scotland's national animal? What is Scotland's national animal? Do you guys know what their national animal is? You guys can tell me in the chat. Thank you, listeners and viewers and lurkers, if you're watching. I appreciate everybody. Tony says, I don't like Coke, but it smells good. Wow. There's Scotty. Welcome, Scotty. Mr. French Fry. Scotty in the house. Come on up, Scotty. What's the name of Scotland's national animal? Like their national animal. What is it? I know ours is Michigan is the white-tailed deer. So what do you think, Scotland? What's their animal? Can you guys guess? Anybody? What Scotland's national animal is? You'll be surprised when I tell you what it is. It's my favorite animal too. It's not koala, but it's one of my favorite animals. Greg Laney says the Scotch tapeworm. No. Ew. Ooh, the Scotch tapeworm. Oh my gosh. That just sounds like yucky. Scotch tapeworm. Nessie. Nessie? What's a Nessie? What's a Nessie? Scuba says Nessie. What is Nessie? Nessy. I know what Nessie is. Come on, you guys, put your guessing things in there. What do you think? What do you think is Scotland's national animal? Can anybody guess? Scott says Loch Ness Monster. Nope. Nope. You will be really surprised. You'll be really surprised. All right. Everybody done guessing? It's a unicorn. Yes. Do you know why? Because the unicorn, they associate it with purity, innocence, and power in Celtic mythology. So, when I read that, I'm kind of like a unicorn. Yeah. Unicorn's my favorite. Scott says I need about tree fitty. Bill says that was Robert Holland that crashed by you, Scuba. Yeah. That's what Nessie said, Loch Ness Monster. Yeah, I think I have unicorn in me because it says with purity and innocent. See how innocent I am? Yes. And the power and Celtic mythology. I love that. Celtic mythology. Doesn't it? You feel so empowering when you say that. Celtic mythology. But I didn't look up what Celtic mythology means. Maybe you guys can look it up. Unicorn is like my retirement account. It doesn't exist, Craig says. I hear ya. Craig. Scott says, I'm not sure if any of you watched South Park and got my reference. I haven't watched South Park since my kids were teenagers. Oh my gosh. That was their favorite show. So that probably went over my head, Scott. Yeah. Scott says, not sure if any of you watch South Park. I haven't watched that like forever. But yeah, so I can associate with the unicorn. Yeah. Purity, innocence, and power in Celtic mythology. Yeah. I think that's cool. I didn't look up what Celtic mythology means. I'll have to look that up later. Okay, here's another one now, everybody. Listen, peeps, okay? I'm having so much fun with this tonight, and I appreciate everybody hanging with me, staying with me on this. Here's another one, okay? Now, I tried this today, and it's very true. It says, it's impossible to hum while holding your nose. Scott says even funnier, she read it right. Well, oh my God, you guys. It's impossible to hum while holding your nose. True or false? I say it's true because I tried it today. Yes. Tony says groundhog. Groundhog. Yes. It's impossible to hold your nose. It's impossible to hum by holding your nose. I tried it. I couldn't do it. So you say it's false? So you can hum by holding your nose? I tried that, Greg, and it doesn't work. Will Fly said, okay, took one for the team and just tried it. You can do it for about a second and that's it. I can't do it. Okay, let me see. Nope, can't do it. Bill H says, try to kiss your elbow. I can't kiss my elbows. Nope, I'm trying. As far as I get. Nope, I can't. Bill H says, or worse, try putting your elbow in your ear. Bill H, you need to be my co-host. You're cracking me up. Yeah, I tried that too, and it just doesn't work that way. Oh my gosh. That's funny, Bill H. That is funny. I love my chatters. You guys are doing awesome tonight. Thank you so much. Scott says, Will Fly thought she said, come not hum. Oh my gosh. Scott, Mr. French Fry. Tony says, can't touch your elbow to your chin. No. Nope, can't do that either. Will Fly said, Scott, still working on that one. Oh my gosh. You guys are guys. You guys are cracking me up. I love y'all. I love y'all. Okay, here's another one. I got another one. Okay. The average person blinks how many times per minute? What do you think? The average person can blink how many times per minute? Tell me what numbers. See who gets close. The average person blinks how many times per minute? Anybody? Anybody? I'm watching the chat. I know, because I get all squirrely. 25. No, you got to go lower. Got to go lower. Give me some numbers. Greg, nope, too high. Got to go lower. Will Fly's the closest, but he's a little over. So I'm just saying what they said when I read it. 10.8. You got to go a little higher. A little bit higher. 75 is too high. Greg's close, but needs to get closer. Will is still a little bit high, so it's kind of in between. So I'm giving you the hints. 18. Okay. 12. All right. You guys are getting there. Okay, so it looks like Will was the closest. Will and Scott. Will Fly said 15 and Scott said 18. And it says here the average person blinks 14 to 17 times per minute. I don't count how many times I blink all day. You would make yourself crazy, right? You know what I mean? It'd be like 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? It'd be like blinks. Yeah, blinks 14 to 17 times per minute. That's crazy, right? Tony said 11. So I don't know how they come up with these numbers. You know, like I said, I'm just the messenger. But it's just fun to find these fun facts for you guys every Thursday. I sat here for like 2 hours writing everything down because I'm old school, you know, so I'm not flipping all over the place reading notes. All right, here goes the next one. Thank you for your, what do you call it? Participation tonight in my stuff. Thank God that's involuntary action. Wow. Wow, Will Fly. That's some big words tonight too, birthday boy. Thank God that's involuntary action. Yes, Will Fly is just so like ingenious, you know, like the words, these big words, his vocabulary. Yes, involuntary action. Yes. So, yes, the birthday boy, yeah, that's good. Involuntary, thank God that's involuntary action. That's true. And Tony Marzano says, our input. I appreciate your input. You guys are doing awesome tonight. Then I don't feel like I'm like talking to myself, you know? So is farting, Tony said. That's true. That's true. Yeah, we could go on with that, right? Involuntary action. Yeah. See what you started, birthday boy? Yeah, Will Fly started it. What's involuntary act? Yes. Is it burping? Is that considered involuntary action? I don't know. It's that Palm Beach education. It's not a fair fight for the rest of us. Ha ha, Greg Laney said. That's true. That's true. Okay, we're going to go on to the next one. Okay. All right. We're doing really good tonight. I know it's after 9. Can snakes predict earthquakes? True or false? Can snakes predict earthquakes? I don't know. I've never hung out with snakes. Maybe I've had some boyfriends that were snakes, exes that were snakes. But yeah. Can snakes predict earthquakes? Tony said if you don't belch, it becomes a, yeah, that's true. And Will Fly said true-ish, yes. My bookie, can I consider him a snake? Let me see here. Oop. There we go. Yes. Greg needs Tony said, oh, Greg needs a new bookie. So yeah, snakes can predict earthquakes. I don't know how. I have never been close to a snake. Find out what they do if they, if there's an earthquake coming. Maybe they go hide somewhere, right? I don't know. That's just weird, right? Snakes can predict earthquakes. I don't like snakes, so yeah. Okay, we're gonna go on to the next one. Okay, everybody. Okay. Did you know that a blue whale's heart size is so big that a human could swim through its arteries? Did you know that? Did you know that? Right? Blue whale's heart size is so big that a human could swim through its arteries. Can you imagine that? Greg Laney said, I probably need a new hobby that I can actually be successful at. Oh, Greg, you never know what you're capable of till you probably have all these hidden talents you don't even know about. When I moved to Michigan, 2021, and my daughter-in-law introduced me to painting. Will Floss, the largest animal that ever existed on the planet, so I believe that. There you go. And that's what Will Fly said. And Tony said, wow, you are a great pilot. You're still here. Yeah. What other hobby is there? Greg Lane said, but the question is, why would a human swim through the whale's arteries? I know. I just thought it was a fun fact. It said that a blue whale's heart size is so big that human. Well, remember the story in the Bible story of the whale, right? Was it Jonah and the whale, whatever, that story? So, yes, if Robert was here, he would say it. Is Shane doing okay, Will? Have you heard from Shane? Did a shout out for Shane, for Shaney. Hope he's feeling better if he's listening. And speaking of listeners, I'm glad you're all here tonight, watching, listening, watching your shows, your other stuff on TV while you're watching Lindy's Treehouse, Paramount USA, every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we all have a good time. We talk about paramoting sometimes. We talk about family things. What else? That's what we do in the. Haven't heard from him other than he's had a cough. Thinking no news is good news, I guess. That's good, Will. Yeah. Sometimes that bronchitis stuff too can creep up on you. Hope he's okay. Yeah, he probably just caught a flu bug. I'm sure Shaney's fine. I'm sure he's fine. So we got see, and then I was talking about something, and then I got all sidetracked, whatever. I'm just glad my phone's beeping, but I'm not going to look at it. If anybody wants to say anything to me, they can jump in the chat and say hi. Say, hey, Lindy's Treehouse. I'm so glad that you guys are all here, my guys and gals. Okay, here's another one. All right, let's see. Because I'm running out of things here. Because I wrote all the stuff. So we already know that the Pope passed away, and we already know about what causing fires on the airplanes. And the FDA, we talked about food colorings. Yeah, Tony said no show on Tuesday. Yeah. Well, it's hard when you're under the weather to do a show. I know Scooby-Doo's done shows in the past even when he was under the weather. So. So I know you guys, y'all like to talk about like alligators and crocodiles and all that. Um, did you know that alligators can stick out their tongues while crocodiles cannot? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Did you guys know that? I Googled this today because I know you like to talk. You talk about the Florida thing with the alligators and the crocodiles. And if there's a crocodile, even if you walk around and you see the pond, ponds, you don't go in the pond because most likely in Florida there's crocodiles in the pond. And I've seen like stuff where the crocodiles actually, people have seen them at their front door where they come, come and they want some breakfast or whatever. So the alligators can stick out their tongues while crocodiles cannot. Why do you think that is, you guys? Why do you think that is? I know, see, Will Fly? Don't you love this? Yeah. I didn't know this either. I had to look up alligators and crocodiles. So it says alligators have a muscular tongue that is attached to the end of their snout, can be extended. Okay. So the alligators can stick out their tongues. Let's see. And Tony Marzano says, you know how you can tell if it's a gator? We do. From the jorts? Greg Laney says from the jorts. Jorts? You mean jaws? Jorts? Jaws? Alligators have a muscular tongue that is attached to the end of their snout, can be extended, while crocodiles, on the other hand, have a membrane that holds their tongues in place within their mouth. Amazing. I think if I were to get married again, I'd have to marry a crocodile. Because, that holds their tongue in place within their mouth. So they, so they can't talk. I would have to do all the talking. Yes. So, let's see. It says, jorts are jean shorts that Florida Gator fans are known for wearing. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, Greg Laney. I didn't know that. And Will Fly says Crocs' teeth show, don't they? I haven't been that close to a crocodile. That's a good question. To know if crocodiles show their teeth. Yeah. You wonder, like, crocodiles go to the dentist while alligators don't? I don't know. Do crocodiles and alligators brush their teeth? I don't know. I don't know, Linda. That movable tongue has to cover something. Oh my God, Scott's cracking up. Scott is like cracking up. You guys are cracking me up tonight. This was fun. I think I got all the fun facts out of the way, unless you all have more fun facts or whatever. They said let's see. We already said the coffee. I love coffee. What is your state animal where you guys live? Mine is a white-tailed deer. What's your state animal, everybody? Tell me in the chat what your state animal is. You have to tell me what yours is. Anybody in the chat? Yes. Thank you for hanging with me tonight. Thank you, chatters. I had fun tonight. I did. I always have fun with everybody. We just kind of talk about whatever, Will Fly says North Carolina is a gray squirrel and the cardinal. Oh, that's cool, Will. I did not know that. Bill H says black bear in his state. Okay. So Will Fly's in North Carolina. Bill H, you're where? Where are you from? Everybody put in where you're from and what your state animal is. That's cool. That's fun. I like that. Yeah. What do they call that? What do they call that big animal that walks around the? Oh, Bill says Louisiana. That's right. That's right. What's that animal that Sasquatch? Sasquatch. My son Ryan is obsessed with Sasquatch. He likes anything Sasquatch. He does. Yeah, my son Ryan. Yeah, the one that lives close by, not Robert. I don't know where Robert is tonight, but I sent him the link to jump in the chat. So maybe he went flying tonight. I don't know. Greg Lane says white-tailed deer and the North Atlanta right whale. Cool. That's cool. Will Fly says, watch out, Linda. Just saw you doing the Trump dance. Oh, no, not the YMCA. Oh, Lord. Oh, my gosh. The Trump dance. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Him doing this. Oh, yeah. You got to kind of turn the head. Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah. It's John. John left? Is leaving? Night, John. Thank you for stopping by tonight, cowboy. You take care, okay? Take care of the wifey. Let us know how she's doing. Scott says, peregrine falcon and the bluebird for Idaho. I love it. I love you. Oh, you guys are awesome. I don't know what my state flower. What's Michigan state flower? We'll do that next week. Put in what everybody put in the chat what their state flower is. It's kind of cool. A little bit of, we'll do more history next week. Kind of pick your brains on that, on the state flower or whatever. It'd be fun. You know how I love to change it up every week, and I said I write everything down in my fancy books here. I always like to, there's all kinds of things that I put in here. Your mindset shapes your reality, and with faith, dedication, and persistence, you can overcome any obstacle. And that's very true. Every intention sets energy into motion, whether you are aware of it or not. So that's kind of cool. Because you want to, I don't know. I always look at it, you want to be careful what you put in your mind, how you treat yourself every day, what you tell yourself every day. And that's why I love to do the show, because I want to keep everybody positive, and everybody, when they leave, that you all leave with, good feelings and positive feelings to go out into the world, because the world's not very pretty right now, And Will Fly says gold, seal, or dogwood, not sure. Yeah, I just that's why I think this show is very unique. Well, I'm unique, Yeah, that's what it is. I'm a unicorn. I am. I'm like a unicorn. I think that's cool. I like unicorns. And I'm just saying, I could be, if I were to be reincarnated, I'd like to be a unicorn. If you were to be reincarnated, what would you want to be? What would you want to be if you were to be reincarnated? We're going to talk about that next week, maybe. Reincarnation. Ooh, I think that'd be a fun subject. I love all that stuff. I think that'd be fun to talk about it. I think I'd like to be a unicorn. Unicorns are cool. What would you like to be if you were to be reincarnated? Nobody talks about reincarnation. Scott says, with my luck, I'd be reincarnated as myself. Yeah, you'd be reincarnated maybe as a tater tot, Scott. Will Fly says rich. Yeah, that'd be nice. Bill H says an eagle. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bill H said he'd like to be reincarnated as an eagle. That's cool. And Will Fly said he'd like to be rich. Wouldn't we all, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to be reincarnated like a unicorn. Unicorns are cool. They're pretty. They got pretty colors on them and everything. I think it'd be super fun. And I'm like, Yes. So Miss Molly, she just jumped off the couch. You probably just saw her. She's going to go over and visit me because it's almost 9:30, and she waits for her treat at 9:30. Now she's just having her little snack. She's having her dinner or whatever. Yeah, so an eagle would be cool. I like your answers, everybody. Scott says, funny you mentioned I packaged over 45,000 pounds of tots today. Holy moly, Scott. That's a lot of tater tots. 45,000 pounds of tots. Man, that's a lot of potatoes. It's a lot of potatoes. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I never even thought about that. Yeah, all those tater tots. You have to deal with all the tater tots all day. Does somebody have to go through and like siphon through all the tater tots and throw the bad ones away, Scott? Is there somebody that does that? Will Flies agree with Bill. An eagle would be awesome. Scott said, how many tots would that be? And yeah, Will Fly says, Scott Savage, how many tots would that be? Scott says 1,800 plus cases of tots with 12 2-pound bags in each case. I love my tater tots on my air fryer. I think they're delish. Absolutely delish. I think I like tater tots. I even have them for breakfast too. Super good. Super good. And without you, Scott, we wouldn't have tater tots. I wouldn't be able to go to the store and find my tater tots without you, Scott. So let's say kudos to Scott, right? We'd be lost without Scott. Funny you mentioned that Will Fly. Starter done, choke done, just got to do kill switch. And I saw something on, did you see something on Gorillas? He had was that a student or whatever that hit the kill switch by accident? Or was that Gorilla? Did you guys see that on Facebook? I think it was on a reel. I believe it was on a reel or something. Reels. And I don't know if it was one of the students or whatever, did the kill switch. I guess that would be easy to do, wouldn't it? Hit that kill switch. Man. But you don't want to do that when you're up. So when you're up there in the air and it's time to hit the kill switch, when do you hit the kill switch, everybody? Scott says, so approximately 2,580,000 tots. Dang. Like I said, Scott, without you, we wouldn't have, the tater tots wouldn't have been born. I'm telling you. Scott, Will says, Scott Savage, that's a lot. It is. Right, Will Fly? Without Scott, tater tots would never been born. I mean, think about it, right? So kudos to Scott. I'm going to clap for Scott. Yeah. I know I'm being silly. Scuba usually at around 100 to 50 feet before landing. Okay. So if you do the kill switch too early, then that wouldn't be good then. Scuba says, unless I'm on a trike, I may leave it running. Okay. Thanks for telling me that. Yeah. Will Fly says, Scott, you should get a job at the U.S. Treasury. No kidding, right, Will? Oh my gosh. Yeah. So who's all going to Bad Apples then in May? Who's all going? So I know. In the chat. Scuba says it's fine to do it early if you can glide to the LZ. Okay. I think I remember going on my tandems. I remember them hitting the switch or whatever and just kind of coasting. Yes. Yeah. What was I going to say? Greg Lane says he's going, and Will Fly said he's probably going. Okay, that's cool. And when is it again? Because maybe, I don't know if I'll do a show that Thursday or not. I'm not sure. It's in May, right? Mid-May or something? Because I know the fly-in at Torchport in Michigan is the 23rd to the 27th of May. end of the month. So, oh yeah, Scuba said he'll be at Spring Wing cussing at Will. That's funny. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I plan on going to Torch. Will I go up in the air? I don't know. It depends. Maybe somebody will take me up for free. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. See if I can. That'd be kind of cool, right? Because May is my birthday month. So how fun would that be to go up in the air again? Even though my family says otherwise. I don't know. Have to see. Have to see, right? I'll have my daughter-in-law drop me off for the day. Just hang out with everybody. Hopefully I'll see Jade and Eric up there. They said they were planning on stopping at, visiting at the fly-in. So we'll see. I'm pretty excited about it. But yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight. This was good. As I was looking for my kitty, and she's wandering around. My Miss Molly, she's the best. She's the best. Well, I really appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. We'll probably end the show a little bit early so you all can do your stuff, unless you got other things you want to talk about. I love everybody's going to be. Will Fly said May 15th to the 18th. Okay. I would have to look at my calendar. Yeah, so I'll still do a show next week, which is the 1st. May 1st is the, so you all be around May 1st. So I'll do a show next week. Yeah, I'll still do my show next week on the 1st. Yeah. Yep. I know Dave Wolf has his show every other week, and it's all good. It's all good. I work around it or whatever, but I still, no worries, everybody. I'm still going to keep my Thursdays. Okay. I'll still be here on Thursday nights at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. So Will flies a thumbs up for you, Linda. Thanks for the entertainment. No, thank you. Thank you guys. I so appreciate every one of you stopping by on Thursday nights and hanging out with me. I really do. Without you all, I wouldn't have a show. My views keep going up, and super excited about that. Like I said, I do the show for you guys. I do it for me because it really helps me. And like I said, I'm in competition with no one. I just do it because I enjoy doing this, because that's what it is, right? It's all about fun. It's all about checking in. And it's like my weekly check-in with my peeps, right? And have nice chats with my peeps, even though we follow each other on all the shows and stuff. It's a little different when you can just kind of, meet up in the Treehouse. It changes everything, where we can just talk about all different stuff. So we did all kinds of topics tonight, and like I said, it was fun. I really, 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 really enjoyed it. With all the craziness and everything, I have to say, thank you, everybody. I mean, this world is all crazy. And I just want to thank you, everybody, for giving me hit the like button. I'm Paramount USA. This is Lindy's Treehouse. Make sure y'all stop by on Thursday nights, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe. Thank you, subscribers, in advance. I appreciate every one of you. Like I said, without you, I wouldn't have the show. You guys really boost my confidence every time, every Thursday when I get on here. And we all got to encourage each other, right? So no beauty shines better than a good heart. So I want everybody to put a heart in the chat. Okay, everybody put a heart in the chat for me. To manifest it to the world, you have crossed some difficult but possible obstacles. So even though things, we have good and bad days. Yeah. Thank you, Will. Thank you, birthday boy. And it says to glow in the dark, you have to reflect light. So don't let anybody dim your your shyness, as the saying goes. Don't let anybody dim your light. Nobody. Okay. Nobody. You just go out there and you do what you love, and you everybody wants to feel wanted, feel needed, and just let them know you care, right? Let them know you care. Just go out there and pay it forward. Sometimes pay it forward to somebody when they don't expect it. I love that. It happened to me a couple times at the stores or whatever. Somebody paid it forward to me. And then during the week, I pay it forward to somebody else. And that's how it is. So anyways, I will see you all next week, next Thursday, right here in Lindy's Treehouse. And we've got Tuesday. I could call it not Scooby-Doo, Shaney's show. I just say Shaney's show. And it's Will Fly and Nick J and Shane. And then we've got my show on Thursday, okay, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then every Thursday. And then Friday, we got Scooby-Doo Scuba Babes. So I want everybody to, make sure you hang out tomorrow at Scuba Babes. I always love enjoying on Friday nights, hanging out with Scuba and Munchkin. Much love, everybody. Please be safe out there. Take care of each other, okay? Take care of each other. Hugs to everybody. You guys and gals, you mean the world to me. All you listeners, viewers, I'm just going to give you big hearts. Thanks for the hearts in the chat and everything, because you know me. I totally appreciate everybody being here tonight. So Scott says, yeah, happy birthday. Scott says, happy birthday, Will Fly. Yes, Will Fly. Enjoy your evening. And guessing you're older than me. Yeah, you're all youngsters. You're all youngsters, except for, you're only as young as you feel, right? You're only as young as you feel. So anyway, y'all take care. All right. Like I said, go out and make somebody happy and all that good stuff. Okay. And Scott says he'll be 44 in September. So let's see, Scott, you're just, like I said, Robert's 45. So you're younger than Robert, son Robert or whatever. So anyway, I'm going to close the show, and make sure you stop by next week, and we'll try and give away some koozies next week. Okay. So you got to be in the chat to win a koozie. So, that's it. I guess I'm going to get to going here and drink my water and what else. So, because my throat's all like, eh. But I had fun tonight. We talked about all kinds of stuff. So enjoy your evenings, hug your loved ones and everything, and say your prayers, because Jesus loves you. Okay. That's what I used to tell my boys. Who loves you? Jesus loves you. All right. Love ya. You guys take care. I'll see you next week. Okay. Yep. I'm going to give her treat right now. She loves her treats. Thank you, Scott, for reminding me that. Yes. Yeah. We love our kitties. All right. I'm going to say goodnight, and y'all take care, and I'll see you next week or in the chats and all that stuff. So maybe a scuba show, and that's it. Night all. Bye. End the stream. Thank you.